Hello my friends, let's start with some good news. Minus $250 million for Russia, all thanks to one successful shot. The Ukrainian Armed Forces destroyed their state-of-the-art Russian radar system Yastreb. The crew of the Naval Center of the Special Operations Forces detected this enemy artillery reconnaissance complex in the southern direction. They, together with another unit, successfully targeted and attacked the Russian Yastreb using HIMARS. Yastreb is the latest Russian radar complex that has just rolled off the assembly line. It hadn't been used in the combat zones before. In theory, it is designed to detect enemy artillery positions. With its radar system, it can track the trajectory of enemy missiles and calculate the precise coordinates of its artillery positions. These data are then transmitted to their own artillery for striking the target. Propagandists claimed that Yastreb is much better than all Russian and Western analogs, capable of detecting artillery strikes at a distance of 40 kilometers with an accuracy deviation of no more than 5 or 10 meters. Yesterday morning, Russian media proudly reported that Yastreb had finally reached the so-called Special Military Operations Zone. By afternoon, the Special Operations Forces released a video showcasing its destruction. So what can we say? Let's welcome the new Russian weapon with its baptism of fire.
Я уже говорил, повторить могу, да вы и сами чувствуете. Наши вооруженные силы становятся настолько дееспособными и настолько готовыми применять современные средства ведения вооруженной борьбы, насколько к этому не готова и не может делать ни одна армия в мире.
Also, another piece of good news. After a prolonged break, Ukraine managed to bring back another 230 soldiers and civilians from Russian captivity. Budanov personally was present during the exchange. Among those returned were a combat medic, defenders from Zmyny Island, Azovstal, border guards, police officers, and National Guard members.
Україна понад усе! Україна понад усе! Україна понад усе! Слава Україні! Героям слава!
Now, let's briefly look at the situation along the front line, starting with the Kherson direction. The occupiers continue intense shelling of the entire right bank. It doesn't seem like they are pulling their artillery back 20 kilometers from the river yet. Perhaps this decision hasn't been made yet, but due to the Ukrainian Armed Forces actively destroying artillery positions with drones, the occupiers mentioned that withdrawal might be necessary. As for offensive actions, the occupiers haven't achieved success. Attacks have ceased in the Holopristan and Pyshanivka area, with battles only reported near the village of Krinki. However, they still have no success here, and the front line remains unchanged. Unfortunately, the Ukrainian Armed Forces cannot expand their footholds yet, so the situation remains unchanged. However, due to the fact that the Russians have fortified the coastal zone to prevent further advances by the Ukrainian Armed Forces, they are facing challenges in conducting offensive operations.
But there are slight difficulties with the delivery of assault groups to the area of the village of Krinky, since all roads are mined and today one of our armored fighting vehicles ran over a mine. Also, in the Kherson direction, there is one problem that has not yet been solved, the dominance of enemy FPV drones. They hunt not only equipment or weapon systems, but also individual fighters. We can't do anything about it yet.
However, it can all end only when the Russians leave Ukrainian territory. In addition, there is renewed shelling in Snehurivka. People report several explosions and there are casualties. So it seems that the occupiers continue their attempts to strike in the rear. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, the occupiers continue attacks in the Robotyne area. However, it appears that the Ukrainian Armed Forces have managed to significantly weaken the Russian army. There has been only one attack in a day, and even the number of shelling has decreased. Clearly, a new reorganization is beginning as reserves are being brought in because all the groupings are seriously damaged. There are no changes along the front line in a day. Additionally, new information has emerged from the International Atomic Energy Agency.
ONU declares that he is prohibited from inspecting the reactor halls of Zaporizhzhia. For 2 weeks, members of #AIEA have not been authorized to access the reactor halls of Units 1, 2, and 6, declared its General Director Rafael Grossi.
Whether this will lead to any problems will be known in the near future. For now, the situation at the Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant remains unchanged. In the Vuhledar direction, shelling continues along the front line, but no new offensive actions are reported, and the front line remains unchanged as before. In the Avdiivka direction, the situation is most challenging. Over the past day, the occupiers conducted 28 assault operations attempting to break through in the Bakhmutivka area and establish positions near the railway. Battles also persist around the coke and chemical plant. However, the occupiers have been unsuccessful in capturing it despite constant shelling and offensive actions. Attacks from the eastern side of Avdiivka continue today. Meanwhile, the occupiers near the railway and industrial zone have been unable to improve their positions. On the southern flank, there is renewed activity with attempts to seize Severne and ongoing battles for Pervomaiske and Nevelske. In the Bakhmut direction, the situation remains tense. Putin has set serious goals, but evidently his army is not capable of achieving them quickly. Battles in the Bogdanivka area have been ongoing for a considerable time. Despite controlling the outskirts, there has been no advancement for quite a while. The Ukrainian Armed Forces successfully maintain their defense. In the Klishchiivka area, all attacks have been repelled, and at the time of creating this update, only shelling is reported. In the Andreevka area, battles continue, but the front line remains unchanged as before. In the Siversk direction, shelling continues. Otherwise, along the front line, there is not much significant activity. The occupiers are not conducting new offensive actions. Shelling persists in the Krumina area near the river, but no offensive actions are reported. In the direction of Svatove, complete silence prevails. There are no reports of serious shelling or offensive actions. The front line remains unchanged. In the Kupiansk direction, the situation has stabilized as well. Russians have halted all offensive actions and even the number of shelling incidents has significantly decreased. Also, today there is very interesting information regarding missiles for the Patriot air defense systems.
European NATO countries will receive 1,000 missiles for Patriot air defense systems for $5.5 billion. The corresponding contract was signed by the European member countries of the alliance, reports BBC. Among the signatories are Germany, the Netherlands, Romania and Spain. The production of missiles is deployed at a plant in Germany, which is being created as a joint venture of the German defense concern MBDA and Raytheon, part of the American RTX Group. It is noted that Western countries have been actively supplying ammunition for air defense systems to Ukraine, which has depleted their stocks, and now they have to ask for help in replenishing the arsenals of countries such as Japan.
And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.